Hello again. So I am recording this video to demonstrate integration of this app crawler library into an existing app. Here I will be following the steps given in the readme page in here. You can check into this link and go through the required steps for app integration. Okay, so firstly I'll just give a brief description of the app into which I will do this integration. Actually this is a Hacker News demo app for this integration purpose. It uses this open source Hacker News API based on Firebase. If you go into here in their GitHub page, you will get the details of the API and the payloads. So in here in my app, I am actually just using two of their APIs. The story ID fetch by type and fetching story detail by the specific type, story ID. So before going any further, I will just give a short description of the app's layout, and then I will move into the app and just give a short description of the app's architecture, and then we will move into the integration. Okay, so if you just let me open the app once again. This is the home page of the app. This app has only just two activities, and the main activity and the story web view activity. This is the main activity. In the main activity, there is a bottom nav graph, bottom navigation bar with 5 items. It actually based on the news categories: the new news, the base news, the top news, the jobs news, and the shows news. If the user lands on a specific tab, firstly after landing into this tab, the news IDs related to this tab will be fetched using this API, and after that just fetching the story details using the individual story IDs using this API. So just this is same for all the tabs. Just the difference is in the news type, and in the news preview there is the title is shown in the tab and the date of publication in the bottom, and if there is a detailed news link, then this full story button is shown, and if we click into this link button, it will take us into a in-app web view. Actually, in the one that I mentioned earlier, the story web view activity, it contains the web view, and all external URLs are browsed through this activity. So yeah, that's it. That's the layout of the app. Just another thing, there is a floating button not very presentable, I guess, just quite ugly. Anyhow, so this button is for scrolling the page. When we will integrate the crawler actually doesn't support scrolling by sliding. So to enable scrolling for the app crawler, I have added this button. If this button is pressed, then the page will just scroll up. Okay, so that's it. That's the layout of the app. And now I'll just go very briefly into the code base. So this is my actually REST client object. Here you can see the base API of the Hacker News API base path, and there is my retrofit object and OKHTTP client object. All the API calls are done through this client. and this is the service object service interface that I showed earlier, just two APIs, and the implementation of the API call is done through this repository, Hacker News repository. And there is a base story fragment. Actually this each of this bottom left button corresponds to a fragment, and these are the fragments: the base stories fragment, job stories fragment, news stories fragment, shows and tops, and all this actually inherit this base stories fragment. All these fragments are actually same, just they differ in the story type. So all the functionality is in the base stories fragment, and this inheriting or child fragments just supply the story type. Okay, that's it. And this is the model. Actually I will after doing this demo, I will put up this project in GitHub in a public repo. If anyone interested can just browse through this implementation of this app. Okay, so this is the brief of the code base. So now I will just integrate the app crawler following the steps given here into this app. So firstly I will just download the ARR file, the latest released ARR file. Okay, it is downloaded. Here it is. The next step is I have to download the file and copy the downloaded ARR inside the app modules lib directory. So in the code base I'll just minimize it. Inside the app module I'll go into the files. Actually here I will just create a new directory called libs, and I will just copy and paste the ARR in here. Okay, so it's done. The next step is, so just let us check the directory and structure. It will be shown in the project view. Here it is, this one. Okay, so next we will have to add the jetpack dependency in the project level build.gradle file. I'll just change the view to Android. It's actually added in here because of some other repository that I'm using, dependency that I'm using. If you don't have this in your app, just please add this. Okay, after this we have to add this code in our project level, app level build.gradle file. Okay, so firstly in the top level, anywhere in the top level, maybe in here, I will add the libs directory declaration, and in the dependencies portion I will add these two things. Just let me copy the whole. I will delete the part that is not required later. Okay, so in here we will add the ARR file name. For us it is this thing, and just please notice one thing, and we will only add the ARR file name, not the extension. Extension is added separately in here, so I will just remove this part. And we need to add another dependency. This is actually the app crawler model it will be for the public models required for this app. Okay, so here the latest model version is 2.0. I'll also change it to 2.0. Okay, so these are the things that is required to add, in the app modules build.gradle file. So now I'll just sync the project. So syncing is done. Now we'll move into the configuration part in the code base. So crawler configuration actually. So firstly, step 3, this is the optional interceptor, network activity interceptor. If we add this during the network activity during the test will be logged and will be given to us, provided to us in the test report. So it have to be added in the OKHTTP client object, and just import the dependency required. Yeah, this thing actually. Okay, so we have done this. Now we'll move into the step 4 of this integration part. So here we will register listener upon completion of the test, crawler test. Result details or the path details of the saved report will be provided into this listener. We will add this listener into our base activity, because wherever the crawler stops after test, this whichever activity, we have two activity actually, both these activities inherit this base activity. So whichever activity is present in the view after the test completion will get the result details update. So I will just fetch the dependencies. For context, I will provide this activity. For lifecycle owner, I will also provide this activity, and here we just need to add a handler, result handler. So what I am planning to do is just add a bottom sheet view to display the details, toString format of this test output details. I'll add that now here. Just I'll do it very quickly without wasting any time. And I will add the content as a text view. I'll just raw text view without any styling. And in the text view text, I will just set the toString of this thing. So I think this will do. In the bottom, in the whenever it gets the test output details in the bottom sheet, it will just create a text view and insert the details and show it. So this is done. And now onto the last part, the launching of the test. Firstly, I will demo a auto testing without any script. Then if there is video doesn't get too much longer, then I may also demonstrate a scripted test. So for auto test, we can use any one of this, and the async launcher or the coroutine based launcher. I will just use the async launcher, or rather just let's use the coroutine based launcher. Okay, so in main activity, upon create, we will, as we are using the coroutine based launcher, we need a coroutine scope. So after resume, it will just delay for, let's say, 2 seconds, and then it will launch the test. We need to give it a context, so I will give this activity context, and if I only do this, it will run with the default setting, which is auto test for 5 minutes. Actually 5 minutes is quite longer, so I will just limit the running time. I will change nothing else. We'll just set the max running time to 1 minute, and we'll set the descriptive path to null. So it will run without any test script and in auto mode and for 1 minute. Okay, so the integration part is done. So now let's run this app. just close this one, also close it from the backstack, and we'll run it. I think it's a very small app, so the build process should not take longer. It will launch anytime. Okay, yeah, it's getting launched. Yes, after 2 seconds the auto test has started. As in the default mode, the screen gets blocked, click blocker is activated, and we can't actually click anything, so it will just run for 1 minute and then stop and generate the report. So you will have to bear with me for 1 minute. Actually, it's quite boring. Maybe it's just switching between the tabs, and now it has launched a full. Yeah, it's back now again, scrolling also. It's just crawling through the app randomly. So the test is completed. Here is the report details. As we said, this bottom sheet, just let me go once again. It is displaying the reports in a report detail, should I say, in the bottom sheet. So by default the report directory is the cache directory. So here you can see the report directory is inside these apps private space cache, and inside this sessions report directory. I'll go into that. Actually, I'm not going to perform any scripted test in this video. Rather, let's spend the time on describing the report. Maybe I will show a scripted test in some later video. So inside this sorry, just this one actually, inside the cache test report, this is the thing, b4 eee, this one the directory. Okay, so inside this is the report structure, the main JSON report, the log recorded, and the screenshots of the screen performed recorded during the test journey. Just I'll just open a random one. Yeah, this is the actually step 13, that means 14th step, and the portion that was clicked is highlighted in blue. Here the news is clicked, here the jobs is clicked. Yeah, these are the screenshots. I will also upload this total report with this video, so that anyone just could relate the video and the reports if he wants to. And this is the log. Just let me first go into the report. I'll just format it. Okay, I'll just minimize everything and show the top level structure of the report. So this is the log file path. As we added a network activity listener interceptor in here, so the network activity is recorded, details are in there. I will go into that a little bit later. This is the app package. It is also given in the report, in which the crawler was integrated. This is the crawler action details. I will show those also. This is the screenshot locations, and actually the rest is quite self-explanatory. 17 actions are performed for 1 minute, 4:49 a.m. 55 a.m. to 4:55 a.m. So okay, so now just let's go into the network activity details report little bit. So it records the method, the if there is any request ID, then the request ID, request header, if any, then it also records that. This is the response body, these are the response headers, time, status code, and the URL, and just later on in the same format. So this has recorded the network activity during the test. This is a path, the internal app directory path for the screenshots, and these are the robo action details, the action performed by the crawler during the test. It actually logs the event type. It was a click event, the time, and the index. This is the class name of the item actually on which this action was performed, and this is the activity name of this item. If there is a relevant fragment, then it also records this fragment too. And just let me show you one. This is the thing. Here the floating action button was clicked. It was in the base stories fragment inside main activity, and this is the total fully qualified resource path of this button. So these are the activity details of the crawler, whatever it performs in auto mode or in manual mode, all are logged in the report. So yeah, briefly this is the structure of the report, and then just let me just show you the log file for 1 minute. So the test was performed between this time, so the log was actually recorded for this 1 minute only. As you can see, the log recording started at 4:49:52 just around about this time, and the end of the log is 4:50:55, so same time. So it also logs the total debug logcat output during the test. So that's it. That's the thing that I wanted to present. For scripted test, I will record another video and give the link in this, add the link in here in the public repo of the crawler. Okay, thank you for your time.